All right, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is for educational purposes only. Racist streamer lose it all after getting banned from Kick, man. Kick just flipped the switch on racist streamer Chud The Builder. You understand me? This shit hit so hard. This shit hit deeper because the man is unemployed. He has no income coming in. And yeah, you know, he's one of them hard R type of dudes, man. But I want to say this before we get into the content, right? They started off with a 3-day ban. And after they reviewed that man's content, they realized he was saying the N-word too much. I mean, he ran around with a gun, hoping somebody give him a reason to say he feared for his life because he is a mega influencer who thought he can utilize, you know what I'm saying, them old school tactics. But I want to say this to the people of my skin color, right? I find it so odd that we could get out here and John Wick each other. But when it comes to the clear brother, oh man, y'all just letting that boy walk around town saying what he want to say and don't get up on him like you supposed to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying right there, man. I ain't holding nothing back on this video. So y'all tune in, enjoy the ride because we finna go live. Let's get it. Let's go.
All right, so today I want to talk about this absolutely despicable streamer who streams on Kick. His name is Dalton Etherly, better known to the world as Chud The Builder. Okay, now this guy has been going viral for the last couple of weeks due to his antics on his Kick page, and his entire gig is pretty simple to explain. This guy is an absolute fucking loser with nothing better to do than to walk around and harass people of color. He pretty much walks up to them, antagonizes them, attempts to get them mad, and then when they have any type of reaction, he looks at the camera, starts speaking to his audience, and says that they are chimping out in an attempt to get an even bigger reaction.
It's a white boy calling this him right here.
Calling it. Don't walk up on me, man.
I just know you ain't never safe.
You think I'm never safe?
I don't give a I mean, at the end of the day, I just want you to
You're a nigga.
I'm a nigga.
Yeah, you're a nigga.
Hold on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is for educational purposes only. And look, man, the guy, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Chud The Builder. The yeehaw rhinestone cowboy is out here calling people of color descent the ninja word. You understand me? And not once did somebody knock the color off his skin. Not once. This is why I say, bro, we got life all the way confused, man. We got life all the way confused, man, to see this man run around town. And first of all, let me just say this, man. I want to give a big round of applause for Kick for getting that bullshit off their platform. Yeah. Shout out to them because it would have been a first 48. Boy, it would have got bad out there if that happened in LA. Now, I know this is somewhere in the South, but if this would have took place in LA, man, somebody mama be at a funeral somewhere. Yeah, nigga. What you say? All right, boy, nigga, knock the pink out the sink. You understand me? Let's get to this content, though. Let's go.
Looking ugly.
Come on down, big boy.
Shut up. Come on, come do something. Come do something. They chipping out. They chipping out. Dumbass.
This is for educational purposes only.
He's chimping out. He don't know how to drive in the parking lot. He's mad I called him. All right, like I said, an absolute fucking loser who thinks that this type of content is funny. All right, this guy is legitimately a middle-aged man with nothing better to do in his life than to walk around and harass people. And he does all of this under the guise of, oh, well, I live in America and it's free speech. So he's playing like he's a free speech advocate.
All right, so just a little rundown, just a little quick little rundown. You know what I'm saying? So Chud the Builder, he's in construction. You see what I'm saying? He was recently fired from his job because they found out what he was doing. You see what I'm saying? A lot of companies that employ people of color and different descents, right? Would have a problem with working next to somebody like that. It's not tolerated all around the world. Now, this is America. You can say what you want to say, but also, you know, don't get mad if somebody kick your ass either. You understand me? So he was fired from his job. They no longer wanted his presence, his energy around, because a lot of people don't represent that. You understand me? In the 40s and the 30s and all of that stuff, man, you know, it was a lot of that going on. You know what I'm saying? Civil rights, like I was telling y'all, people of color didn't have full, complete civil rights. You see what I'm saying? It was prejudice going on. It was a lot of stuff. And all those historical moments, and let me just say this for the record. I know how YouTube is. This is for educational purposes only. I'm not displaying this for any such malicious or malice intent. This is just to identify what's not acceptable in the world. You know what I'm saying? So going forward, you know, he ended up getting his own job. I mean, starting his own company. You know what I'm saying? And once people got hold that he was trying to get a job and, I mean, will start his own biz, nobody wanted to support that shit. Nobody supported Chud the Builder. You understand me? Nah, nigga, you thought you should go out in your own way and then you limited the supply. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people ain't finna rock with that, man. A lot of people who's business owners, they find out they hiring you, these people won't come to work. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't work out in his favor. He ended up starting, well, he ended up doing, you know, this streaming shit with Kick, and he got a nice little buzz because there is some good old boys out there who love this type of content. You see what I'm saying? And he did it for his specific crowd, right? But it didn't last that long. He could have really got himself hurt. He turned into a hard R just because he couldn't find employment. So he took his shot on Kick, and he could have made some of himself, but instead, now he lost everything, got banned, and now he's begging for money and he's begging for mercy. All those people that was clapping for you, yeehaw! It was one of them times where, you know, it came out
that he knew he fucked up,
and it just didn't work out for him, man. Let's go.
I should be allowed to say these things to whoever I want, and nobody should be able to do anything to me because of it.
Believe in free speech?
Yeah, free speech.
So you think white people should be allowed to say nobody should be killed for words? Nah, words ain't shit. Obviously, it's gonna piss you off, but even if it pisses you off, you don't think somebody should be killed.
You know what I'm saying? You don't say it about 3 or 4 times, I ain't getting paid.
Yeah, that's why I gave you the food.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so he's acting like he's a proponent of free speech. That's what he's advocating for, except that's a total load of bullshit. See, Dalton is doing this because Dalton has really no other choice in life. See, Dalton Etherly is a contractor, a remodeler who is from a little town in Tennessee called Clarksville. All right. And back sometime last year, Dalton went viral while he was working for a contracting company. After he cut off a woman and her child in traffic, he almost...
I don't know, Chud the Builder. You might not, I'm going to be honest. You might not want to be in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I was just in, was it Nashville? I was in Nashville. I was in Nashville, Tennessee. And I got stuck in Nashville, ended up getting a hotel room, seeing the people, hanging out with the people, had a little business out there. But, you know, they not go, man, he cannot just go anywhere he want, man. I don't care. It's some good people that's his same color that will probably put hands and feet on them behind this type of activity. Cause it's a lot of brotherly love out there. I mean, yeah, we ain't talking about the old days, but man, I've seen a lot of us and a lot of other colored descent people getting along and working together. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I don't know. He's probably from a small town. Yeah. Cause you ain't going to no Memphis. You ain't walking. If that is Memphis and people got a hold of what you actually doing, it's gonna get bad for you, Jack. Let's go.
Sideswiped them. They ended up veering into a different lane. He walked over, spit on his girl's mom's car, and asked what their problem was before he drops the N-word on them. He then held a cross up outside of his window at them before driving away. Now, the girl took a picture of this. She posted it up on Facebook, and the post goes viral. This leads to Dalton being known in his hometown of Clarksville as the racist contractor. Because of this, he starts to run into problems in his professional life at work. The company he works for decides that they're going to let him go. They fire his ass, and then he begins to find it difficult to find work around that area. So he jump-started his own company called Remodel Clarksville, and he began to work for himself. However, due to his reputation, people recognizing him, things were not going great for him. It's almost like actions have consequences. So unable to work, unable to make money, and unable to provide for his family, he decided to just fully embrace the identity of being a racist contractor, right? We got this post right here where he reposted the image of him with the cross out of the window of his truck. And he said, "Here is the original post that the BLM crowd canceled me for 2 years ago. I got fired and was forced to start my own company. Since I started my company, the chimps have been trying to starve and harass me the entire time. They want the gun to my head apology, and it won't happen." Okay, and all of this is the reason why he began to stream himself walking up and antagonizing black people for the sole purpose of entertainment for his kick streams.
I was just driving to work, and she starts yelling at me saying, "What the fuck's your problem? What's your problem?" And I said, "I'm just doing the speed limit." And then as soon as I said that, she threw her drink out the window. She said, threw the drink out at the truck. I rolled the window up, and then we drive to the next light. Of course, we get the red light again. She rolls her window down again, and all I did was I rolled mine down and hit her with the cross. They took that picture, posted it everywhere, said, "This guy's calling us hard R's, blah, blah, blah," got me fired. I started my company in response to this. This was about 2 years ago. And that's followed me throughout the whole time trying to, there's the picture of me with the cross. And they've been trying to cancel me and slander me. And they posted me all over Facebook the entire time I've had my company, trying to say, "Do not hire this guy. He's hateful. He's this, is that." They say nothing about the work I actually do, but slandering me to the point where I had my tongue basically sliced out of my mouth. One thing led to another where I got so much harassment. I just started posting them, chimping out. And I'm like, hey, I'm not the only one who's sick of this shit. I just doubled down. They wanted the apology and I gave them none.
Okay, so the irony of this guy actually harassing somebody, being fired, losing his income, and then playing the victim card is not lost on me. Like I said, it's almost like bro almost expected for there to be no consequences for his actions. He's painting this poor, sad me story like, "Oh, all I did was overreact and everybody canceled me." Like, yeah, bro. That's kind of what happens in a modern world where everything is recorded and your behavior can be held against you. Just because you're an American doesn't mean you have immunity to all of the rules of the real world, which rule number one is, be respectful to others. He pretty much lost everything he had because he refused to apologize, and he decided to just double down on being racist. So like I said, unable to be employed anywhere on Earth, the guy had, no other choice but to go out here and start streaming. And if that's all he did, that's where the story would end. But like I said, he doubled down on this whole racist spiel. And when he did finally start streaming and trying to make income, he just decided that however he was acting that day when he put the cross out the window was the way that he was going to act throughout all of his streams. So I do have a couple of glorious clips that we're going to watch here today to kind of show you guys what we're dealing with. And the first one I want to watch is this clip of him outside of a club talking to a security security guard and absolutely trying his hardest to get a reaction, but ultimately failing and walking away like a punk. Let's watch the clip.
Man who's probably and needs to get some help.
What's that?
Count to three. I'm being nice right now. That's right there, Cross. That's free.
You're trying to tell me this isn't a public easement?
I stay right here.
Don't tell me what to do.
Okay, well, move it.
Keep yourself. Don't chimp out.
All right.
Look at him chimping out. Be a good boy. You heard me. Dumbass.
All right, so first off, kudos to the security guard. Bro was handling himself professionally. He didn't allow himself to be provoked, and he didn't freak out on this guy. In fact, he even tells.
All right, for YouTube purposes, I want to state the fact that this is for educational purposes. I understand that YouTube do not support this type of actions, and I don't either. Just for the record, this is for educational purposes. Let's go.
Him at one point like, hey bro, back up a little bit or I can move you. Now this guy said what he said as he was walking away, and I guess in his eyes this makes him tough. All right, but this clip does get a little bit better because there is this absolutely boss ass lady here in a second that calls Chud on his bullshit, and it pretty much perfectly frames how much of a punk this guy actually is. Y'all watch this.
You heard me.
You want to say it again? I'll walk you over here.
No, I'm good. We're live. Don't touch me, lady. I already said it to his face. Dumbass.
Hey, shout out to this chick. She said, hey, do you want to say it again? I'll walk you back up there. You can say it to his face. He said, no, I'm good.
You want to say it again? I'll walk you over here.
No, I'm good. We're live. Don't touch me, lady. I already said it to his face.
She walked his ass down, but he said, nah, I'm good. Like, yeah, I bet you are, bro. I always love to see people talk tough as they walk away like real tough guys do.
Small business owner, let your bill pay work for your business. Pay your business bills with your credit card.
Get mogged.
Now, this guy obviously feels completely safe in the activity that he is participating in. He clearly thinks that nothing is going to happen to him. And so this has led to a bunch of these clips going viral, but it doesn't always go as, for lack of a better word, as smooth as that interaction right there went. In fact, a lot of the times these interactions do go left. And Dalton, knowing that these things can go left, normally walks around armed with multiple different weapons. For example, one of his favorite things to walk around with is bear mace. And we have seen him pull this bear mace out on people in the past and threaten to use it on them because he provokes them, they react, then he feels like his life is in danger. Here is a great example of that exact thing happening.
Or what? Come on over here. You heard me. Or what?
I didn't fucking say, nigga.
Back up.
Shut the fuck up.
Back up.
Stop saying.
Or what?
Why you saying?
You might want to back up. You're going to get sprayed.
Why the fuck you saying nigga?
Because I can say it's America.
But why?
Because it's America.
But why?
Because I can say what I want. Or what? Back up. Back up.
So this guy's entire point for doing this is to, I guess.
And let me tell y'all something, man. You know, that type of energy, you're not born with that. You're not born with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't had that. It's been, man, it's so many years ago, you know, that was tolerated. So he was taught that, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't born with that energy like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's somebody around him that still approve of that type of energy. You know, for all the people that's watching this, man, I want to assure y'all that this is the wrong way to go about life. You get nowhere with that type of energy. So, you know, I'm pretty sure some of y'all be in traffic and you see somebody else that's not your complexion and you say something that's derogatory like that, man. You know, the power of the tongue speak life and death. So just be careful on what you say to people, because this right here, I don't see him lasting, that long in society. I just don't. Not with a job or none of that type of stuff, man. It's not cool. So, I need y'all to really hype up this video, get engaged, leave some comments about this, man. This is y'all one shot to be vocal about what's not tolerated, man. You know what I'm saying? We live in a new world, and this is not cool, man. So, for me to you, man, y'all drop something in the comment. Let me know what y'all think.
Prove that black people act irrationally when white people use this word. But ironically, every clip that I've pretty much seen, he uses the word, somebody will confront him. He'll continue to use it, antagonize them, and try to escalate the situation. And it never seems to actually escalate the way that he wants it to. The image that he wants to paint of the people that he is trying to insult is not the actual image that he's getting when he's streaming. Most of them stay calm, composed, and they just question, why are you doing this? This is dumb as hell, which I wanted to just stop and point out. But anyways, let's continue.
Nobody's doing it.
Yeah,
back up. Everybody was chilling. You're just being an asshole.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. Don't worry about it, man.
He heard the word. He's like a Manchurian candidate. He's a Manchurian candidate. He heard his target word. Bro didn't want to get sprayed.
That's why you carry a fucking mace.
I got something else for you too if you want it. I'm trying to spare your life. Get the fuck out of here. You want to go viral? You're gonna be millions of views tomorrow morning. You're gonna be millions of views tomorrow morning. Just wait for that. Yeah, you don't give a fuck because you don't look like you care about much. You shouldn't be driving. You look a little drunk. You look drunk. Do I need to get somebody over here?
Put the mace down. See what happens.
All right, y'all. So let me say this. Now, I know a lot of y'all got bear mace. Bear mace is illegal. I just want to let y'all know, if you get caught with bear mace, you know what I'm saying? Like, in public, right? It's illegal. You can't have bear mace. I know. And they're like, that is mace. Nigga. No, you cannot have bear mace. Trust me. I literally did my research on it. Well, maybe in some states, you know what I'm saying? But I know California, Nevada, Utah. Well, I don't know Utah, but California, Nevada, Arizona, you can't have bear mace. It's illegal. Just so y'all know, man, I'm just giving y'all some tools y'all can use. Don't think you cool running around here with bear mace and if the police catch that shit on you, that's not something they can trip off of.
Or what?
Put the mace down. See what happens.
You wanna get blown apart?
Put the mace down.
Come on over here. Come on.
I run a podcast solo. No producer, no editor, no tech skills, just Riverside.
All right, I want to pause it right here because there's a few things that I want to talk about. Now, y'all know how I do it on my channel. I don't really script anything or anything like that, right? I just watch the clips, give y'all commentary, but I do a lot of legal breakdowns on my channel. And so I want to talk for just a second about the legality of what we're watching, because in the clip, you can hear him threaten this kid with mace. When the kid gets a little bit upset, says, put the mace down. He then threatens him with what I'm assuming is a gun, because he says, what, do you want to get blowed to pieces? All right. And this guy is in Tennessee. That's where the majority of his streams happen. And I want to touch on the legality of it a bit, because he seems to be leaning hard on the, I'm an American. This is freedom of speech. Nobody can do anything to me. And if they do, I have the right to defend myself defense. Right. But in Tennessee, that I was defending myself argument gets super weak if the whole confrontation is built around him provoking people on purpose. All right. First off, before he threatens anybody, just walking up to people, calling them slurs, trying to provoke a reaction, and then saying something like, I'll blow you to pieces, can already be charges against him in the future, right? This is classic harassment is what it is. All right. Now, Tennessee also includes intentionally or knowingly causing another person to reasonably fear imminent bodily injury. So If he threatens somebody while using or displaying a gun or this bear mace, prosecutors could look at this as aggravated assault in Tennessee, because Tennessee aggravated assault includes assault that involves the use or display of a deadly weapon. All right. Tennessee harassment law covers communicating a threat where the speaker intends it as a threat and a reasonable person will perceive it as a threat. And if it's happening in public, you got disorderly conduct that can apply, creating hazardous conditions with no legitimate purpose. So while he feels like he's protected under his right to free speech, the truth is you don't get to just go up to people, say racist stuff, threaten lethal violence, wave weapons around, and assume that because you're doing it for content makes it legal. Granted, calling somebody a racial slur is not automatically a criminal case offense. It becomes a problem when there is a pattern of this behavior, and there clearly is. This guy targets black people, uses the slurs to provoke them, records it, carries bear mace and a gun, and then threatens deadly force if they react in a way that he doesn't like. Patterns like that in the court of a law can be used as evidence for intent, motive, premeditation, especially if something violent happens later on. Tennessee also has a civil rights intimidation statute. It makes it a felony to injure, threaten to injure, or coerce somebody with intent to unlawfully intimidate them from, exercising protected rights. Tennessee also recognizes bias as a motivation as a sentencing issue in hate crime context. All right, now clearly this dude didn't consult with a lawyer at fucking all before he started doing all of this, so I'm sure he's not privy to any of this information. But the main question that comes to mind is, if say he does this to somebody and it does get violent and he does end up injuring somebody, could he survive a conviction on a self-defense argument? And Tennessee does have stand your ground self-defense protections, but they normally only apply when a person is not engaged in unlawful activity and is somewhere that they have a right to generally be. But that does not mean that you can go out and the danger. If something ever happened and he was arrested and prosecutors could prove that he was the initial aggressor or intentionally provoked the encounter, then self-defense becomes pretty much useless in the court of law. They would pretty much look at a few things like, did he start or escalate the confrontation? And did he withdraw before using deadly force? If, say, in this situation, things went left and this kid did get mad enough to do something and this guy did pull his gun out and quote unquote blow him to pieces, he almost 100% would be facing first-degree murder charges. And they would argue that it was intentional and premeditated based on the prior videos that he has released. So the bottom line is, if this guy actually does shoot somebody in Tennessee after repeatedly provoking them on camera and threatening to blow them to pieces, he is absolutely going to be charged with a minimum of aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, homicide, and possibly first-degree murder, depending on what happens in this situation. I wanted to point that out and talk about that because this guy seems to think that because he has the freedom of speech, he has immunity from anything that happens because of his speech. And that's just not the case. All right. This guy is walking a thin line. And while nothing has went too left yet, it doesn't mean it won't.
Look at him. He's simping out. You might want to get your boy. He's dumbass.
What's up, y'all? I'm Percy Miller, Master P, and I want to social media, physical products, digital products. It's
Dumbass. Yeah, you might want to get your boy. I'm like really like about to lose my shit. Fragile like women. Fragile like little women. Where's your daddy at? Did he teach you how to behave? Surely he did. He's going to get milk still.
All right, man. Woo! That nigga right there, he provoking like a motherfucker, ain't he? That boy is provoking. All right. Niggas gonna be like a rhinestone cow. Whoop your ass, too. All right, y'all. We gonna leave it right there, man. Make sure y'all like, hype, and do me a big solid favor. Leave a comment on this motherfucker. I know if y'all see it like I see it, somebody should fuck hot. Somebody should be boiling right now. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Let's get it. Let's go.